This is a picture of the archers who are running away. You can see a large number of them died, which really helped give me the combat res I needed to win that fight. And next picture here is the predictable result of my bunker there, killing the eagle. I actually made way with the BSB, and since it was into the second rank then after combat, I just moved him back up to the front, which is why it doesn't look like he won or has moved at all. So my turn 3 here, I charge in with the tree man into the butt of the I charge in with the Shoggoth into the butt of the tree man. You can see that white dice there. That means that the tree man has 3 wounds left. So I'm really pretty comfortable with this. I try to charge with the BSB's unit into that fight as well, just to get more people throwing blows, but I fail charge. And my Tzeentch Sorcerer Lord charges, actually, I don't have a picture of this, I wish I did, charges rather foolhardily of me into the Eternal Guard, trying to get rid of his Wizard Lord. Now, I know that my Sorcerer Lord has a 1-up armor save and a 3+ ward save, so I'm really not worried that he's going to die in combat. But in retrospect, the charge and the flank charge only last for 1 round. If I don't, if I lose in the second round, which is possible with only 2 attacks and the disc attack, I'm going to be in trouble because, even I'm going to lose in the first round now that I think about it. But I was very optimistic at the time, and I probably would never, ever do that again, ever. Now, the next picture here is in my magic phase. I threw regen on the Chosen again, just trying to keep them up. They're the only thing really taking heavy casualties. And like I said, the Sorcerer Lord already has a 3-up ward. It doesn't need 4-up regen. So I'm throwing regen on, it total powers, and I make the detonation, and I put the template down, and this is what I rolled for the 2 wound. Everybody in base with my wizard takes a strength 10 or 6 or something hit, and these are my rolls. And I thought that was just too epic not to put down. In combat, predictably, the Treekin are wiped out. Unpredictably, to me, the Tree Man goes ape on my Shoggoth. He throws 4 more wounds on the Shoggoth, so he's got 1 wound left. And the Treeman himself takes a single wound, so he's on 2, and he sticks around. And I'm really, really pissed that I couldn't nick at least 1 more wound off of him after, he did such a beating to my Shoggoth. But I guess that's what I get, right? That's what I get for not doing the math hammer before I rolled him in there. I just one big monster versus another. Well, not exactly. So here's a picture of the combat with my Wizard Lord. He doesn't do anything. He's charging in there. He fails to kill anything. He fails to die in return. He loses by a fair bit. I mean, he's got 2 static. I may do a wound, but I don't think I even do that. And they've got 3 res for ranks, 4 for the standard, 5 for the battle standard, 6 for the war banner. I lose by all sorts. And my Lord is insane courages, and so he sticks around, which is really, really ridiculous, but I'm really glad that he did that. Since my opponent won combat, he reforms to face the Corn Marauders that are going to come, and if he fails to break my wizard next turn. And you can see the Dryads that are out of position now. He thought that he had that combat in the bag, and now he's going to have to use them to try and mop up the Chosen while they're still dealing with the Tree Man. And here's just a picture of how that combat turns out. But in this turn, the archers rally. The Dryads turn to look at the Chosen. He casts Earthblood on the Eternal Guard, and I dispel Flesh to Stone on the Eternal Guard or the Tree Man. I can't remember which. He shoots my bunker that has my BSB and my Nurgle Sorcerer, but I don't really care. I pass my panic test. In combat, here you can tell the Chosen killed the Tree Man. And in the combat over on my left side, the Lord does no wounds to his Lord. He does no wounds to me, obviously, the 1-up armor and the 3-up ward is kind of insurmountable for Wood Elves, and I hold on a 3. Like, I roll a 1 and a 2, and that is exactly what I need, which I think is ridiculous, and my opponent concurs. He's really pissed at me at this point that guy didn't break either time. So here was a great charge I had lined up. It didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. Uh, you could I don't think there was a picture of it, but when I destroyed the tree man last turn, I did not in fact reform my chosen. I left them. I may have reformed them slightly, but they are facing the Eternal Guard, and the reason for that is I wanted to charge them and the Corn Marauders in, and I failed with the Eternal Guard, as you can see, or with the Chosen, as you can see in this picture, but I did get in with the Marauders. What happens there is I regen the Chosen. They're stuck out in front of the Dryads. I don't really want that to happen, so I try to mitigate that as best as possible. Also, as you'll see in another picture, I actually joined the BSB to the Chosen just to give them a little bit extra oomph versus the Dryads. I total power Gateway on the Dryads. I kill 7, and the resulting blast kills 3 Eternal Guard, which is good. I like that out. And then in combat, the Eternal Guard win by like 1. My General holds, my Corn Marauders hold, but they lose Frenzy, and I reform them like this just for ranks to try and take away Steadfast, even though it doesn't matter, even though they're stubborn. I'm just trying to mitigate. I'm trying to keep Steadfast on my Marauders, I should say, for as long as possible. And here's just a picture of what the board looks like on this side. As you can see, the BSB has joined the Chosen. The Dryads are depleted. The ex-Flaming Archers, since the banner disappeared when they ran away, are moving up. They're still taking some pot shots out of my little bunker there. And, yeah, so nothing exciting. At the very back, you can see the Hell Cannon that really hasn't done much. It's picked 1 or 2 wounds off of stuff. Really, the biggest thing it did was hit those archers and kill, like, 4 or 7 or something. So even that, not very exciting. So I'm not real thrilled with it at this point. And in Wood Elf turn 5, the inevitable Dryad charge into the flank of my Chosen. That's pretty much it. The rest of those units that I showed you in the last picture on the left are moving into short range. In Magic, I let Flesh to Stone go on these Dryads, which is a pretty ballsy move on my part. But I really want to stop the next spell, which is Earthblood on the Eternal Guard. I really have got to get those guys under control, and I think that I'm going to win. And even if I lose here, I'm steadfast on an 8 with my BSB because he has no ranks. And so there's that. In shooting, he kills 4 or 5 of my bunker, and I think he shoots 4 down because 5 would have been a panic test, and he doesn't force it. In combat, the Dryads here win, or rather they lose by 1, and I reform to face them. And in the big fight, everything goes pretty well, and my wizard actually wounds his wizard or his BSB or somebody, whoever he's fighting, and that actually causes the fight to tie, which was excellent because that's what I needed this round. I needed to stop making stupid break tests with my 400-point Tzeentch wizard. Here's the beginning of my turn 5. I charge in and barely clip with the Tzeentch bunker into the Eternal Guard, which is great. It gets me more ranks. It gets me a flank and a charge. More static res. Even if it's like 1, 2 more attacks, it's going to be good. He dispels regen on the Chosen, and I make an Exalted Champion in the Marauders. I figure a 5-point Marauder for a 115-point Exalted Champion is probably a pretty good deal. And okay, so in combat, here's what combat looks like beforehand, and this is what combat looks like afterwards. You can see I just totally annihilated them. My BSB, I think, challenged a Branch Wraith and killed it, and got probably an inconsequential roll on the Eye of the Gods charts. Maybe the Branch Wraith refused, I don't know. And they fled all of 4 inches, and I rolled like a 5, I think, to catch them. So it wasn't a very Wasn't a very good showing on the pursuit and flee, but hey, I got it right. Over here in the combat with the Marauders and my Lord versus his people, his Eternal Guard, you can see that that charge did pay off. Plus, the Marauders went ape and totally killed a bunch. It looks like he's down to 2 ranks. And the BSB that's still in base with my wizard that he's fighting, and the level 4 is way away, not getting hit. But that's okay. They're stubborn, of course, on a 9 with the reroll, so they held. So that's not very exciting. And this is just a picture of what the rest of the board looks like. You can see my Shoggoth over here and some hounds over there, the Hell Cannon in the back, along with my bunker that's really just getting shot up. And at this point, it's not going to die before the end of the game. We're on his turn 6 next, so I don't really even care. He can keep shooting me. Whoop-de-doo. Start of his turn 6, nothing really charges. There's some repositioning, getting in short range, getting in firing arcs, that kind of stuff. He Earthbloods the Eternal Guard. He's got 5 dice. I've got 2. It's like over the casting value I can get. I roll 2 dice, and I don't get double 6s, so it just goes off. Sadly, the Noble with the Hail of Doom arrow nicks the last wound off of my Shoggoth. There he is laying there in shame. I guess I probably shouldn't have modeled him with arrows and spears and junk sticking out of him. Maybe he would have realized that he's got to make those armor saves. But, oh well, that's 275 points down. He also does some more wounds to the bunker, but big whoop there. We knew that was going to happen, and I even talked about it. It's not going to matter. Here's another picture of the Eternal Guard fight. And this time, the Eternal Guard wins somehow. And this is what became of that loss. My general finally breaks after many, seems like years of holding up when he shouldn't, and he runs away. Fortunately, the Marauders, who are steadfast, stick around, so nobody gets to chase down my general. Whee! This is just a conglomeration of pictures from the last turn. Really what you need to take away is I do a bunch of long bomb charges. The Hell Cannon charges some archers. Both of my bunkers try to charge. Stuff flees. And since it's the last turn, I'm not going to get points for it. It doesn't flee off the board. Or it gets in combat and it's not killed to a man and it breaks and it runs off the board. And the Marauders here versus the Eternal Guard, the Eternal Fight. While a lot of stuff does die, the Eternal Guard, I think the Eternal Guard actually win. And my Marauders get insane courage to stick around even though they don't need it because they're still steadfast. And that's pretty much the game. And it's a solid win to me. I got the Treekin, the Tree Man, 10 of the Archers, all the Dryads, and the Branch Wraith. He got the Shoggoth, the Marauder Cavalry, 1 unit of Hounds, and the Champion out of one of my